Welcome to the Hotties and Horror Movies podcast, where your hottie hosts, Sanka and Wendy, break down their weekly horror movie binge.
Hey! Welcome back to the Hotties and Horror Movies podcast, guys. How we doing? What's up? What's happening?
Oh, I'm a bit tired, to be honest.
Yeah, I'm not gonna lie, y'all. I'm hungover. I'm gonna be honest about it. Had a long night last night and still recovering. But we pulled through on this week's episode of Hotties and Horror Movies. We went international.
We did.
We went international, like actually international, where like we had to read subtitles, not like an American movie based in a different country. That's three different things.
And I had high hopes, and I was
we
not
shouldn't
satisfied.
have had none.
Mm-hmm.
None. So this, like, we were quickly talking before we started the podcast about like what do we even talk about, like, but we just gotta get it off our chest. I'm just gonna say this out now. This week's episode, Hotties, is finna be short because what we are about to discuss today probably had to be one of the biggest waste of our times, and we have watched some garbage.
Yeah.
We have. This has got nothing to do with it being an Indonesian film, so the film is Indonesian. It's got nothing to do with that because one of the horror movies that we've watched previously together was an Indonesian film, and I almost pissed myself with how scary it fucking was. So it's got nothing to do about it being Indonesian. This was just, it was what would it say, a horror comedy?
Yeah, it was. Yeah, I don't know what it was trying to be, but yeah, it ended up in both the comedy and the horror genre.
And I wish it ended up
very
nowhere,
confusing
because it was neither horror nor funny. So I don't know what Netflix is doing, but yeah. So this film is called The Target.
Just Target.
Oh, it's not even The Target. Okay,
no, just
it's
Target.
Just called Target. It's a 2018 Indonesian film.
Mm-hmm.
So you can look. Just you talk about it because I'm just trying to gather my thoughts and I have none.
Look, there's not too much to say about the movie. Basically, it's 9 people who are either, I don't know, TV stars or influencers or, something.
Celebrities.
Yeah. Like, not really celebrities, but a little bit. And so 9 of them get gathered in a abandoned building and locked in there. And they're forced to play what is called a lethal game, which really, we'll talk about that. But yeah, then they're all recorded, obviously. So someone's trying to make a movie out of all of this. And they have to fight for their lives and basically try and just survive all of the challenges and stuff that are coming up.
So literally like an escape room pre-Squid Game-esque nonsense. But they're not fighting for money. There's no money aspect. It's just, yeah.
Yeah, so they basically get told they're coming to film a movie and they're all really excited about it. They come to this house and they're super excited and they get told to put on these shirts that have targets on them. And they get fed a meal and eventually it's obviously drugged. So they all pass out. And then they get brought into this, abandoned building where they have to go through challenges and there's a little screen that's telling them what to do. So we get a lot of Saw vibes from this.
Yeah, very, very Saw. Very Saw.
A really, 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 really bad version of Saw.
Like Z-list version. Like like below Z-list.
Yeah. Oh man, it was just so bad. It was so bad. I don't even know any of the characters' names. I didn't get invested in any of them.
Yeah, and it wasn't even like the only character I remember is because their name was like, hold on, let me pull up the character list. I think it was Deet. It's just because they said it so many times. Like, yeah, it was just
it was just like bad.
It was a bad film. Like, I don't know what they were... Like, this was definitely had to be, like, a hella budgeted film. Because I do not understand how we got here. Oh, my God. So the main girl who played, like... Oh, Cinta. I remember Cinta. Who played Cinta. She's actually in a I just looked up. Sorry, I just accidentally clicked on her like the stock. Was it discography or whatever it's called, filmography or whatever it's called. Her resume, and she's in a lot of like. She's a really popular actress.
Okay.
Could have fooled me. Could have fooled me. But yeah, so like that's what I mean. I don't even know where to begin like with all of this because like it's just such a weird, convoluted movie. Like
it took so long to actually get going. I wasn't sure we were watching the right movie for like 25 minutes.
Like, no, the plot really only started like 2/3 into the film.
Mm.
Like the actual razzle and dazzle of like playing this game just started, about 3/4 into the film. It was just mad. It was just, so like Senka said, they all have to gather to the house. They're all at this place to play this game. The way it starts is that they all get an email, like, a certain group, like 9 of them get an email. No casting director, no nothing, no auditioning. They've just been sent an email version of the script and saying, hey, like, we want you to star in this film. It's for one day only. They must have paid a hefty amount because you couldn't get me to leave. Like, where like, you didn't sign a contract. Like,
True.
You just got this email and then accepted a deposit and then you're like, you're right-o. Like, there was no common sense about it, right? And the characters are all quirky and weirdos and like half of them are losers, like just all like losers, like Z-list celebrities, except for I think one of them is Willy Dozen, which is actually a famous Indonesian like action movie star, which but yeah, everyone else I'm like, huh? What is happening? Like, and so they all get to this house. Like, you've got your jock, you've got your princess, you've got the annoying whiny girl. It's literally like if anyone's ever watched Community, it's as if the cast of Community had to like be in an escape building and had to kill each other for a movie. Like, it was literally the cast of Community. It was like that sort of weird personalities and quirks and stuff. Yeah, like Sanka said, they get to the house, they eat food that's obviously poison. I mean, one of them questions it, and it's just like, oh, this food could be poison. Oh, but it tastes really good, though.
Yeah, and then
he
proceeds to eat it.
Then proceeds to eat it. Like, it just doesn't make any sense. And then they wake up, they're all, they've gotten dressed in those targets, like Sanka said. They wake up, and then the games begin. And you can tell it's all pre-recorded. You can tell it's all... yeah, like halfway through I was just like, I'm starting to suspect like maybe one of the characters are in on it because I'm just like, this is really weird. And yeah, the challenges are mediocre. I mean, like the first challenge is sort of
so bad.
Suspenseful. It was like, oh yeah, there's a gun, 6 bullet. There's a revolver. Revolvers only have 6 bullets. There's one. Like you have to point at each other, and whoever dies, and then you move on to the next round.
Yeah.
And one of the main.
It was so. It was just all of them were so not creative at all.
The worst one was the riddle one.
Yeah.
Like you have to solve this. Like he was, and the way they were doing is like every aspect of a movie needs suspension and tension, and then another good aspect of a movie is comedy. And it was just like, oh, solve the riddle, and it was just like, what was the fucking riddle? What fruit is smooth on the outside?
Yeah.
And we came up with watermelon. We would have died. I would have died. And what was it? It was fucking Duran.
Yeah.
When you like
Durian.
smooth it out. Durian? No, not me. Duran. It was durian. Like, well, hold on. What does durian even look like?
Oh, let me Google. I know roughly.
I'm Googling it right now because I should have done that. What? Wait, smoothed out.
No.
Images immediately. What? What do you mean? What is a smooth? Oh, it's smooth when you take the skin off.
Yeah.
But I could have said that about any bitch. Any fruit could have been up for that. Oh my god, you know what it looks like? It looks like what I like eat in my culture. It looks like fufu. It do be looking like fufu. Oh my god. Jesus Christ. Anyway, so that was the answer to their dumb riddle. And then they moved on. Like, 2 people died. And then there was a weird like side quirky love story nonsense between Deet and Cinta, which
Oh
was
man,
stupid.
it was so stupid, and the acting was just so cringe. Like,
It was so cringe.
oh my gosh, I
Like all of it. Like, and then like the Willie, was it Willie? Yeah, Willie. Dozan was like this big action star, da 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 da, and then like he was such like a big baby in the like he was just like, oh, I don't do violence anymore, you know, I'm all about like self-care and love, and he was just like very I don't know, like I know it's like Indonesian comedy in a way, so I'm not trying to be like disrespectful of that, and like I don't get the like I'm not gonna talk about the humor of it because like again it could just be a cultural thing where we don't understand that type of humor, so I don't want to like bash stuff that I don't even understand.
yeah.
But the actual film itself, it was stupid. Like people were dying, whatever. The last round, they all get put into different rooms. Then there's a gun with 6 bullets, and they all have to kill each other. I started counting bullets because my husband taught. Like one of the things my husband does when we watch movies is that he kind of knows how many rounds should be in certain guns, and then like he doesn't believe in infinite bullets. So I was started like counting the bullets. I was like, well, they've used 3. They've only got 3 more left. Like, so they better not keep firing at each other because like that's it. And it was just so stupid. And then like there was this. Then it suddenly became like a low-key action movie. Like 2 of the characters started like fighting each other.
Oh yeah, and one of them jumped from like the floor to like 3 meters.
Yeah,
up
Willie,
onto a
like
platform.
like Willie, like because he was a badass actor, right? And like action star, and then he was being such a baby, and then he turned back into his badass action film star nonsense. And this motherfucker glided up to the 2nd floor to beat someone's ass. We could not contain ourselves. I said, "What the fuck?"
It was so
Like-
absurd. Oh.
Oh my god. And then the
but-
2 doofheads were fighting, and it was all action scene stuff, and then they try to mean it, but because they're only actors,
But they were like
can't
fake fighting. It wasn't even real. Oh
yeah, they
my
were
gosh.
fake because they don't know how to really fight. It's all just like they all know how to do rehearsed fighting. So they like maybe 1 or 2 punches got in, but like after that, it was like what? Oh, sorry. And the movie opens up to someone being like fully wrapped like a mummy.
Yeah,
That's how the movie opens.
like their whole skin got burnt and stuff, so you can just see
Yes.
their eyes and their mouth, and they're just wrapped up. And they're the ones who are actually telling us the story of what happened, or telling
Yeah.
the police the story.
Exactly. Like, oh my god! And then so how do we even get to where we get to? Like, I've actually even forgotten a lot of the like. How did we get from the fighting scenes? Oh yeah, so they go into the room with the like, you know, because Cinta's had enough. She starts like actually doing things like firing at the camera, all that kind of stuff. They go into the room. He's wrestling another person, and like apparently the person who was the pretty much Jigsaw, set off a bomb when they got off the seat, and then the place blew up. The guy who the sort of sidekicky friend, his name is Hifdisi.
Yeah, I don't know how to
Hifdisi
say
or something
it.
like that. I don't know how to say it. Apologies for butchering the name. I really don't mean to. And he ends up like, you know, sacrificing himself to save the others and fights this guy. The bomb blows up. Come to find out, he was the culprit behind the entire thing. Like the person who was pretending to be the puppet master was also manipulated into helping him out because he had captured his wife.
Yeah.
And she was captured somewhere.
Yeah, and there was like a timer or something that was going to let her out.
Yeah. And then everyone was blaming the guy who got roped in. I think, his name was Rummy. The guy got roped into helping the Hifdizi or whatever. Because he took his wife and sent him a recording like, you have to do this, you have to gather all these people. So he dies in the first round because he points the gun at himself and he like fake dies.
Yeah.
And then he goes and sits on the chair. So when he sits down, he activates a bomb, and then when he gets up, the bomb is triggered to go off in like 10 minutes.
seconds. Oh no, it was like 10 seconds.
Was it 10 seconds?
Yeah.
I think it was longer than that.
Yeah. Because it happened very quickly. They weren't in that room for very long.
Yeah, and it was like a whole like it was 24 hours, wasn't it? Because did they spend 1 night there or 2 nights? No, it was 1 night.
Yeah.
Yeah. But the guy Rummy who got roped in to do with it, he actually died because he was closest to the bomb. The guy who was actually the culprit just got his face burnt.
Well,
and then they sent him off to the...
The thing is, he actually wanted to die also, but he obviously survived. He was actually trying to get killed because the backstory of all of this is his father had written a movie script that was basically everything we saw in the movie
Yeah.
and was trying to get that produced, but everyone kept knocking him back, and I don't know why. Like maybe I don't know, thought it wasn't
Because it
that
was a
good or
shit premise of a film.
yeah, exactly. So he kept getting knocked back, and he had all these debts and everything that he couldn't pay because no one wanted to make his movie. And eventually he ended up killing himself, and they said that he burnt himself. So that's how he died. So I think his son then also wanted to go out the same way, but then just after, I don't know, I suppose getting this produced, I don't know. I'm assuming that he wanted to kill himself because why else? Why would he want to burn himself that badly?
Yeah, there's a lot of assumptions going on here.
Yeah. But
Yeah.
then if I think about it, if he did die, then who would have produced the movie? So maybe that wasn't
exactly.
maybe that wasn't his aim.
Like, yeah, I think he was like willing to die in the process of making the film, but then if he didn't die, he would have the chance to make the movie. Because he said like, you know, I'm one of you guys, so like in case I die, like,
Yeah.
because old mate watching the cameras would have been the one. He was gonna die regardless because bomb.
Exactly. And he knew that as soon as he sat down.
Yeah,
But yeah.
yeah.
Oh, man, it was a crap movie.
It was so bad.
It was so badly done.
Bad. Like the entire time, because you know, if you are subscribed to our Patreon, Hotties and Horror Movies at patreon.com, the live react was literally just us laughing awkwardly and staring at each other because something so stupid would happen. We just stop and look at each other like, what is happening?
Yeah.
Like, what is happening?
We talked a lot about the nonsense as well, though, because, yeah, it was just, there was no, other than, like, people being killed, there was no element of horror or thriller or anything like that.
There was no horror whatsoever. Like,
and then
whatsoever.
They awkwardly tried to bring in this comedy side, and plus with all the weird, you know, upbeat music and it was just
and like
and then this little love story between Cinta and the other guy. It was awful. It didn't go anywhere. It didn't hook me. It didn't.
Nah. I was so
scare
bored.
Me
like
at one. Yeah. Oh man. Like halfway through, I kind of wanted to just go for a nap. I was wondering whether we should just call it quits.
No, because I said we got to power through because not every horror film is going to be a hottie hit. It's not. And we have found that very quickly. And like I you know, in our previous episodes, we've talked about like the girl on the third floor. Like we hated that film, but I cannot believe that a film is going to take the top worst film ever in the horror genre because there was no horror. Like we didn't get scared at all.
Mm-mm.
Like at least in Girl on the Third Floor, we had bitches crawling after us. Like, you know, we had elements of horror.
A few little small jump scares. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, we got some, you know, we got some thrills, some cheap thrills. But this gave us nothing.
No, nothing.
It took away our life. It took away our life form. It's an hour and a half we're never going to get back.
We really tried. And I really, you know, at the start I wasn't too keen about reading subtitles the whole movie, but we gave it a shot. We hoped for the best, and we were very disappointed.
Yeah, the next couple of... Yeah.
I thought, you know, Girl on the Third Floor was awful. I thought it was going to be a while, like at least 20 movies in, that we would get one that would be worse than that. But here we are.
Ding, ding.
But here we are.
Here we are, folks. The worst film we have watched. And again,
And I will take the blame for this one.
I wasn't even going to say anything like that. You're going to have to wait for the Patreon to see me blame Sanka. But like, I was going to keep quiet because because the thing is, I like to bully her, but my L's going to come too. It's going to be one day I pick a film and it's going to probably be worse than this.
I was just trying to be decisive. Honestly, we didn't have any idea of what to watch. I just wanted to quickly pick something. This one came up and looked interesting.
And the kind of movies like we enjoy are like 2 hours long. Like they are 2 hours long, and you know, Like, we're not living that YouTuber influencer life. We got things to do. Like, I'm hungover. I had a nap. I was trying to recover. I got work tomorrow. Like, Sanka's got work tomorrow. Like,
True.
it was hell. So we're like, well, a little quickie. No.
Yeah. I'm going to stay away from the 90-minute recommendations on Netflix from now on.
Yeah, just like, I don't know. I don't know what the next film is going to be, but crikey, we might do a bit of investigation before we watch it.
Yes.
There's nothing.
I agree.
There's nothing worse than trying to film like, and then just sitting there like, what? Like, there's nothing to give. It was all just, it was zeros all round. Zero round. No hotties out of 5.
Yeah,
no hotties.
Zero. I didn't think I'd be giving any zeros, but I am.
Not even a 1. It is a 0. 10 out of 10 would not recommend. Like,
I think Girl on the Third Floor was a 0.5 for both of us.
It was a 0.5.
And this is a 0. Not even a 0.1.
It was a labor of
it's
love,
a 0.
Girl on the Third Floor. Like, labor of love, which you can go listen to on all our previous episodes.
Yes.
Horror and Hottie Movies podcast. But yeah, I don't know, you guys. This is probably, like, we have run out of everything to talk about.
Mm-hmm. I would not recommend this to anyone.
Never.
I think we should probably wrap this up because I don't want to give it another minute of my time.
Yeah, this week's episode is such a short one. I don't know, like, how long have our episodes been thus far? Like, what, 30,
around
40
an hour?
minutes?
No, around an
hour.
Yeah. This is what, 20 minutes?
20 minutes! Oh my god, what a terrible movie. Like,
it was awful.
Yeah, I don't know how to...
Do not go and watch it.
Oh, did we talk about how we found out it was a culprit? Let's talk about that. Yeah.
No, we did.
Yeah.
We did.
We did? Like,
yeah.
They got sent like a disc. So old mate who got burnt up, the fat, like he was a fat character. That's what his whole thing was. He was a punchline. Yeah, edited the video and then sent it to all the production houses, and they were like, "Wait a minute, we know this last name. We've seen this last name before." And then one of the characters drops him off at the airport, and this guy is escaping. He's escaping. They go to his house and they find all these pictures and weird like maps and nonsense from the place that they were all trapped in, and it's about a month later that it's all happened, so he's probably thinks he's getting away with it, but his face is burnt up as hell. Like, he's gonna be very, very recognizable when he lands. But
he got his movie out, and that's what he wanted.
And that's all he wanted. He was ready to die for it. Like, he was ride or die for his dad. And also, what a weird premise. Like, wanted to make a tribute to his dad. The man is dead. What are you tributing? Like, I never understand that, like, story plot. Oh, I'm doing this because it was my dead father's wish. But he's not here to witness it. So what is the point?
This is true.
Like, loser. I'm sorry, loser. Like, absolute loser. Like, you did all that for what? Just to get your face burnt up because your daddy's shitty movie script didn't get picked up? Oh, God.
For good reason. My gosh.
For a good reason. Like, and the thing is, it was nothing like Squid Games. Like, they had, at the very last minute, it was like, oh, we've got your parents. And one of the characters was like, wait a minute, I literally saw my parents off to the airport, like, yesterday morning. So this person is lying.
Yeah.
And it was just like, oh, God. There was no incentive for them. It was just like, oh, live. And I'm like, yeah, but money, like, now, after watching Squid Games, I'm like, no, money is definitely a better incentive for motherfuckers to kill each other. Not like, oh, you've got to pick someone to die, because then they all talk about it. Where it comes to money, it's like, I'm killing you, I'm killing you, I'm killing her, I'm killing you twice. Like,
exactly.
There was just no actual incentive, like, play the game. And was it weird that no one else got shocked? Like, that's what I mean. I'm just like, wait, so we're breaking the rules and no one is getting shocked? Only one person is getting shocked?
Oh, no, remember they said they weren't actual shock collars?
Yeah, exactly. And the guy who was faking it was just faking being shocked. They're like, so why, like, all of you guys are breaking the rules and stuff. Like,
but not getting shocked, yeah.
But not getting shocked. Because remember, the guy who tried to bang the door, he didn't get shocked. He just got hurt because he hurt his leg.
Yeah.
So it was plot holes everywhere. Absolute plot holes everywhere.
They were all pretty dumb anyway, so...
They were all dumb, because I would have been like, okay, cool, we've got guns, let's just, like, there's 6 of us and one of this guy. Why can't we just look around and, like, you know, why can't, like, there were a reason that there was Z-list act like celebrities. Like, there were no intelligence. You wouldn't have caught an A-lister not signing a contract for an emailed script. Like, come on now.
Yeah.
But yeah. That's it. That's all I can give it. Worst film. Our bads, guys. Our bads. Like,
yeah.
very
Sorry.
short episode this week. My bad.
Sorry. But we'll make up for it. We'll pick a very good one next week. And
next episode.
Yes. I'm going to leave that one up to you, Wendy. So, pressure's on.
Yes, I do. Yes, I will be doing some research for next week.
Yes.
Next week's episode. Thank you for listening. Please follow us at all our mains. Not the Twitter yet. I still didn't set that up, so my bad. But follow us on Twitter. Hotties and Horror Movies for everything. Instagram, YouTube, SoundCloud. Where else we at? Spotify. I already said Instagram.
We're not on SoundCloud.
Yeah. All those
what are you talking about?
SoundCloud. Are we not on SoundCloud?
No. Anyway, just go to our Insta. We have a link tree
set
up.
Just go to our Insta and follow me, Wendy Kayish, on Instagram and Twitter and YouTube and all the links and stuff. Sanka has agreed to do a public profile, so I'm holding her accountable. Lol. She's going to make one because I can't be the only hottie on the show with an Instagram baddie worthy page. So
I'll try.
She'll be creating one too. Yeah. And if you have any suggestions, please DM or email the Hotties at Horror Movies email address on our links. So thank you much for that. Thank you very much, Lee.
Yeah.
Any last words, Sanka?
No. Nothing more to say on this shit movie. Please don't go and watch it. Just listen to the podcast and don't watch it. Trust us.
Yeah, we gave you everything it was ever going to give. The food looked banging though. I do one tiny positive. The cutlery set they all sat around to eat at. Gorgeous. Indonesia, you got some gorgeous ass cutlery. Your China looks great. Is it bad to call it China? It is. That's some white people shit. Your stuff looks great. I definitely come have to buy some because I want that on my dinner set. And the food looked banging, but that's it. Everything else sucked. Bye. See you next episode. Bye.
Bye.